Is there anything more worthless than a debate online about religion? I mean, seriously? Are you going to change somebody's faith by using a YouTube comment or a forum post? No! You can't even change people's opinions on class balance in World of Warcraft. So, why do I bring this up? Well, this review involves religion. And without some sort of disclaimer, I'm sure some idiot would decide to spark a debate that would be really, really stupid. So please, don't be that guy! Hail and welcome. I'm the NPC, and I got a new couch. Isn't it awesome? Got it at a yard sale along with that cabinet over there. I'm not actually sure how they got that thing inside. I'm actually scared to open it. Well, enough of that crap. Since the internet is all abuzz with my first video, I'm sure you all have a ton of questions for me, seeing as how I didn't really answer anything about who I am, what I'm about, or what I plan to do. So, what sorts of questions do you have for me? Oh, go to hell! Ugh. Well, since last time I decided to make fun of something that's actually pretty hard to make fun of, this time around I went for an easy target. So easy, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. With a minigun! Here's tonight's target. Chick Tracks, made by the famous Jack Chick. A guy so stupid, so ignorant, that people actually think he was made up just to be a parody of people like him. His comics are found at www.chick.com, which means that most likely the people who visit that site think it's a porno site. So what is a tract? Well, it's like a comic book, but it's smaller and it's actually wider than it is tall, so it gives it the same look of a Tijuana Bible. What is a Tijuana Bible? You can Google that yourself. Now I've decided to only do one of these. Why? Well, otherwise I'd spread myself too thin or we'd be here too long. Plus, after a while of reading these, they stopped being funny and really got kind of sick. I mean, here's just a short list of some of the people he's utterly and completely offended. So let's take a look at our chosen tract. Big Daddy. Again with the porn innuendos. The cover is rather simple, I guess. Nothing but an ape eating a banana with the title next to it and this awful yellow color. Then again, is that a gorilla? When did anyone say we evolved from gorillas? Oh well, moving along. This story begins with a class on what I can only assume is college biology, which really must be a hell of a class, seeing as how it's being taught by James Lipton. The art here is very not good. His stance is awkward and his posture is just awful. Why are only his fingertips on the desk, and what's with his left hand? Is he giving the peace sign? There's also a lot of blank, useless space to the right of the panel. You would think the chalkboard would have something written on it, but instead it's just wasting space. But seriously, the real star of this panel has to be the picture of the ape on the left, with the title Our Father under it. Next panel. We do, sir! Right. Okay, clearly these kids are either brainwashed or they've been lobotomized. No class in college ever gets that excited about anything. In the next panel, anyone disagree? I do, sir! With an equal amount of enthusiasm. Well, now the teacher has something to discuss. And being James Lipton, I'm sure he's just intrigued by this unforeseen turn of events. So in the next panel, he... Gah! Jeez, apparently telling college professors you believe in evolution is a lot like saying his mother is a whore. This guy looks ready to start killing someone. I'm pretty sure if a teacher acted like this in reaction to something a student said, he would be up for review. So, next page, we see our little Aryan protagonist confront the teacher face to face. Although, if I were the kid, I would be stepping back and calling the police. The teacher says he's going to systematically tear apart his beliefs. Has Jack Chick ever even met a teacher? Or James Lipton? By the way, I have to point out the placement of this quote. Crazy man. I honestly can't tell what that is. Is a narrator saying that? Is the kid? Is the teacher one of the students? If it's one of the other students, why isn't there a line leading over to the right? I can't tell if he's even calling him crazy or whether he just blew some beatnik's mind. Crazy man. At this point, it seems like the comic itself is just blurting out random insults. In the next panel, the protagonist puts on some eyeshadow and decides to say that evolution is a lie because of the Bible. And then suddenly, hold it! The professor cuts in. And then, oh Jesus, he's back to his murderous rampage! And his head appears to have grown several inches in diameter and sunk beneath his shoulders by about a foot. Then he threatens to have the kid jailed, which the book itself says is a load of crap. I guess it's so they could put the little note at the bottom in about how it's not illegal to talk about the Bible in schools. But even then, it doesn't make much sense. And in the next panel, the teacher says what's essentially the everybody does it argument. Like he's selling cigarettes or something. Stop being a wimpy sissy commie and believe in evolution. In the next scene, the teacher is seen holding what appears to be Skull Monthly? I don't know. He next says, DNA proves it. That statement is about as incomplete as saying apples prove gravity. Next part, he says, science proves it. Which is weird because he talks of science like it's a sentient being. And then, carbon-14 proves it. Carbon-14 is used for carbon dating, which, again, is an incomplete argument. The teacher then moves on to say facts. And I don't mean just random facts, I mean the word facts. Over again. Facts, facts, facts. Then he blurts out a bunch of random names I can only assume are scientists. I don't know, I only recognize Darwin. Then he mentions National Geographic and Time. I can only assume this is meant to train kids to argue against evolution in biology class, but it's really failing to do so. The kid is going to be in for quite a surprise when the biology teacher doesn't just spurt out random scientific terms and bullshit. Next, the kid asks about the 6 basic concepts of evolution, which, for the record, are completely made up. The first 4 don't even have anything to do with evolution. Evolution isn't about the creation of life. Evolution is about the adaptation of life. Then why are the first 4 of those in there? I must say it is quite impressive, though. It appears that James Lipton is able to write those up in under 1 second. And no, the writing wasn't there before, since we saw the blank chalkboard in the first panel of the comic. And when the class hears the protagonist's argument, they scream on cue, "He's got a point there!" in unison. Did they get together and just randomly agree that on cue they would say the same line at the same time? Next panel, the teacher changes the subject instead of, rebutting what the student said. Dear God, this is like watching Katie Couric's interview of Sarah Palin.